Hey, all, this is Lee from the Magic Our Way podcast, and you're listening to the BS Podcast Network.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Lukewarm Cinema Podcast. My name is Austin. I'm joined here today with
Christian
and George.
And very unfortunate news we are telling you guys right now. By the time this episode comes out, it'll already be everywhere. But as of right now, it is news for us within the last few hours, and that is that actor Chadwick Boseman has passed away at the age of 43 due to cancer. Christian and I were in the car on the way to your house, George, and Vanessa sent me the text, like the screenshot, and I was like, but it was on a credible news source. I was like, there's no way.
Yeah, and as soon as you said it, when you walked in, I looked at my phone and the Twitter notification popped up and it said, hey, I had the same feeling when it was like when I got the message saying that Kobe Bryant had died. Same thing. It was just a Twitter notification.
See, I heard that one on the news. Christian and I were going to hang out that day, and I heard it like on the radio when I was going to pick him up.
Yeah, no, it's a pretty sad day. Chadwick, I most remember him from his role in the movie 42, where he played Jackie Robinson. I, like you guys know, I'm a big sports guy, and that was like one of the more influential sports films of like 2010 decade. And it's actually crazy because today was the 42 day in Major League Baseball, where they honor Jackie Robinson, and everybody in the Major League Baseball, or everyone in the majors, wears the number 42.
That's awesome. To kind of, pay respects, not to stir the pot, but there have been articles posted, one by the New York Post that says Chadwick Boseman would have been a screen legend. I think all three of us here can highly disagree with that. I haven't seen 42, but I've heard good reviews about it, and you were just telling us about it before we started the episode. Sounds like it was a very great movie. He's been in other very noteworthy films, but most importantly, he was in Black Panther and the Avengers films. And that, seems like, especially in today's day and age with, social injustices around and everything, like it felt like a much bigger role than it actually was.
Yeah, let me jump in. I'll admit I only heard of him when Black Panther came out, and he was like a hot new actor. It was like, wow, where's this guy been? It was awesome. And the thing is, even in like the Marvel rankings, I rate it as good. I rate it as a good movie. But even though I like some of the other ones more. But his role kind of hit, and I guess the subject matter of the movie definitely hit like a cultural thing that's going on right now. And like, I don't have to tell it to you. You know what I mean? And the role, I think, became like way bigger than just what it was. So it's basically like iconic tier for a lot of people now. So that doesn't surprise me.
No, I think when people look back at it, it'll be one of those runs that it's like, wow, if you really just look at these last 10 years, this man has accomplished a lot of things in Hollywood, when things were needing, or like when the African American community needed a person to like highlight that all this is possible. You know what I mean? And it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate to hear that he had to pass away, especially cancer in a time like this. And man, it's kind of crazy. You don't hear anything leading up to it. They do a really good job of keeping it under wraps.
Yeah, because Christian and I were looking into it, and it says he was diagnosed like 4 years ago, which, was before Black Panther.
Crazy. No idea. Never heard about this. He has cancer, colon cancer. Nothing. He was in Black Panther. I saw the previews for 21 Bridges, and I'm like, that's a cool looking movie. Yeah, good. He's now like that. He got his role. He got his big break because he's a good actor. And pretty sad. Pretty sad that right after his big, and I didn't know he was that old. Also,
Yeah, I did not know he was 43.
because he looks great in Black Panther.
I thought he was
So
way
young.
younger. I'm gonna be honest.
I straight have thought like 20s, maybe
Late
30s.
20s, right?
Yeah.
Late 20s, early 30s.
Good.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Let's highlight that too. Good for Chadwick Boseman. He was living his best life on
Yes.
screen. We don't know what it was like at home, but well, to kind of put things at ease, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a rather lighthearted episode. This was just something very unfortunate and unexpected that came up. So we figured we'd pay our respects here. We'd welcome everybody else to pay your respects. Go check out one of his movies. Just enjoy the amazing work that he put out. But moving on to a little bit of a, I guess, lighter take. The movie New Mutants and Tenet just came out.
Yes.
And
your boss had said something regarding a movie theory about the first movie you mentioned.
So New Mutants. Basically, his theory is that the reason why this Disney film, because it's technically a Disney film, is out right now is because they just don't care about it. They acquired it when they bought Fox, and they were like, man, we really don't want to do anything with this. So he was telling me he thinks what they did is they go, yeah, just put it up against Tenet. Because then they can go, oh, well, it didn't do well. We're not going to pursue this. But I was telling them, I was like, watch it like gross like $100 million. And they're like, God damn it. Now we got to actually do something with it.
It possibly could.
It very possibly could, because it is a superhero movie.
With the given circumstances, everyone's going to want to go to a movie.
Yeah, because
you have a fan base that watched like a dozen movies in the fucking spin-offs. They'll go see it. I mean, I'm not. I'll say that because I've heard it's dog shit. Haven't seen it. Don't blame me. That's just what I heard.
Do you guys want to go see it at the drive-in? It's at the drive-in at 12:10.
Goodness. It's like, oh, the reshoots were getting a little gnarly. They only have 8 minutes left of the movie.
Yeah, but it makes sense though that I don't consider that as much of a theory as it is like just a smart business play, because obviously, you don't want to just toss out a movie fast without giving good advertisements. They're going to start reeling us in with these big blockbuster films, I feel, in spring, but they're going to start showing the previews here in the next couple of months to really, really get our dicks hard for those films. And because, it's just so short notice that why not just, all right, there you go. It makes sense.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he was saying because this was supposed to come out in 2017 originally. This movie.
Okay.
It was like a development hell type situation.
Yeah, and then Disney acquired it, and they're like, "Oh, let's just release it because people already know about it." And
we put some money into it. Let it go.
Well,
see what it does.
I think it just needed to be like, I don't know. I could be totally wrong. I don't work for Marvel Entertainment or 20th Century Studios.
Yeah, but I'd like to think sometimes in my dreams I can put myself there.
I mean, it's very possible to put yourself there.
Spider-Man, he has 8 arms. He's a mutant. The Japanese got the bomb first. It's like a Fallout situation.
Manhattan is a wasteland.
Dr. Octopus, he really has octopus arms. Okay.
No, he's just an octopus.
The Scorpion is also a
climbs up
scorpion.
the skyscrapers with his tentacles.
Just a total wasteland situation.
So what was that? Oh, and you mentioned the movie Tenet.
Yes.
Okay.
Which is one that I was actually the last movie I went to go see in theaters was Onward, the Pixar?
Mm-hmm.
Pixar?
Yes, it is Pixar.
Okay, Pixar film. It's Disney.
Disney animation.
And this was one of the movies that played in the credits, and I was like, that looks amazing. One, it's Christopher Nolan, which I have to do more research on this, but there's a ton of controversy about that already.
Why?
Because, I guess the Tenet Studios, like the producers and stuff, like removed him from like the premiere. Like they just didn't invite him.
Weird.
And he's a director. Something like that. Like it was some drama with Christopher Nolan. It looks really good. It has Robert Pattinson in it too, and I had to do a double take. Like Vanessa was with me, I was like, "Is that Robert Pattinson?" She was like, "I think so."
Yeah, people seen that he did Twilight and hit the road for a minute. You know what I mean? Like nobody know what he's been in.
I guess if we're gonna go down the Robert Pattinson thing, the new Batman trailer. Batman. Oh my! Have you seen this, George?
I have not.
Oh my god, dude, it looks sick. And he doesn't say "I am Batman." He goes "I am vengeance."
Change it up a little.
He's pretty edgy. He beats the shit out of this thug. It's pretty cool.
I think it's going to be a good Batman.
So did they say when it's going to release?
I forget.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
It's different when like you can't wait for the opening, kind of.
Yeah, you're
Because of
just
the
kind
way
of
things are.
stuck at home. You're like, it's gonna release sometime.
Man.
Is this
So
where we
new
all learn
Batman, is it going to
patience?
be he's not fighting Joker anymore?
I don't think
Maybe.
they. I don't think they.
Hold on, my friends were talking about it because I don't pay attention to anything DC does. Like I just tiptoe in. I'm like, oh man, Joker, that was some edgy shit. I like that. Batman has weird voice. That's cool too.
Yeah.
But said I don't know. Don't remember actually. Sorry.
Well, let's make it up. What do you let's see what he said. He says Joker's going to come back.
He said it was like a more
As
minor
a-
villain. It
What if
wasn't
it's
Joker.
Joker's baby? What if Joker's been knocking up chicks in
Is it like a
Gotham?
boss baby situation?
Yes.
I didn't see that movie. It's a meme.
And then he
Sorry.
gives his own child scars at a young age.
October 1st, 2021 is the scheduled release for The Batman.
Oh.
The Batman.
Oh, see, I like the tagline. I watched the cartoon when I was a kid.
Yeah. Also, though, did you guys see what The Rock did?
No.
He did a promo, and now he's going to be Black Adam, which is from the DC universe.
Well, I don't know who that is.
I don't know
bringing
either.
up a whole bunch of DC stuff.
I know, because they just had their like big like conference. Excuse me, sorry everybody. They just had their big like conference like a week ago.
Where did they have the conference at? Did it was it like
It was an online thing.
it was a Zoom meeting?
Yeah.
Yeah, you know how it is. It's not that things are all out of whack. All the information is.
Yeah, but you figure
Throwing your net out
some
there.
people.
All I know is all my coworkers
We
were
can
talking
wait
about it.
in line at a Walmart, but we can't have a DC convention. We could
Every time I go to Walmart, they're like, "We're closed." I'm like, "It's 4 in the afternoon. We closed." All right.
we could be on a city bus sitting next to a homeless person,
Infected with COVID-19.
and we can't vote in person.
Oh man, don't get us down that road.
No, I'm just saying,
'Cause it's some shit right now.
guys, eventually we're gonna have to step out into this world.
Infowars.com.
Eventually, we're gonna have to step out.
Other dimension. There's another one. It's the shadow of the
Alternate
moon.
dimension.
It's the shadow of the moon. Have you ever seen the other side of the moon? I haven't.
Because it doesn't exist.
Oh dear God! All right. Well, everybody. Yeah. So
Oh, hold on. Last thing I want to say.
Yes,
what do
please,
you
George.
think will be on the Batman suit? Because he always has that one badass weapon that comes with him. Like, what do you guys think we might see in this next
a
one?
Glock 19.
I forget.
Old fashioned stuff.
Oh, just
What if it's like a 44 Magnum and you just like,
you feeling lucky?
Okay.
right?
Well, the read I get on it is it basically in this trailer. You know how Batman's like, in some universes it's like I won't kill anybody, but then in some other comics he's like he'll beat the shit out of a guy and drop him down 2 stories. You know what I mean? Basically, in this one,
Okay.
Sorry, we're looking at. I have an
looking at it.
image. I have an image up of Robert Pattinson's armor. He's jacked, isn't he?
oh shit, really?
He's
Well, hold on.
jacked, but
Let me
I
check
think
that
it's
out.
the suit.
Yeah, it's the suit, obviously, but yeah, he's pretty jacked here.
You got a whole bunch of things that because like what I love the most, probably like it was in the Dark Knight. It was like that
Which is the best Batman?
when his mask, he had the ability to like see through the buildings and see the enemies. I'm like, that is like just the most OP thing in the world.
He just taps it in a tactical nuke inbound.
What's his butler's name? Or the
Alfred.
guy Alfred.
I almost said
Where are they at,
Jarvis, and I was like, "Oh, they're gonna kill me."
They're the same superhero.
Yeah.
Alfred, where are they at?
I saw a great YouTube voiceover where he's telling whatever the like female like love interest character was that movie. Basically he was telling her in that same voice. This guy's a great mimic. He says, "Spit in my mouth." He's hopping in. He's hopping in the Batmobile and it's doing like the Ferrari, like the top thing.
Oh, okay.
Pretty
The
funny.
top thing.
Other cool
The
thing though.
convertible.
So going back to my boss, he's a huge like superhero buff, and he was like, yes, Batman, so Robert Pattinson is showed with like dark eyeliner around his eye, but like that's how Batman like I guess is portrayed in the comics
With dark eyeliner?
because it darks out his whole face if he's wearing the mask.
You're right.
Oh yeah, like when you watch fucking
The Dark Knight, he
If
doesn't.
you,
Kick-Ass.
Okay. Question. Another question about Batman.
I probably won't know.
If you have the bat signal, right? That big light that flashes in the air. Can you only see it on overcast nights?
See, yeah, it's definitely like fiction shit. That won't work.
Right? Because if you
Well,
just
I mean, we see the Luxor
we see
light,
the Luxor light,
but it doesn't stop.
But that's the
though.
exception. That's the only light that could be seen from space.
But see, that's just a straight, like, you know, like if you're trying to portray a symbol, I wonder if that would work.
We got to try it. We're probably gonna get arrested, but we got to try it.
That's why.
What if you had to like lift up an aluminum balloon?
Little do we know, right? Batman only fights crime on overcast nights.
He's like, they're like, Batman, there's like 15 robbers shooting up a city block. He's like, what's the weather?
What's the-
Oh, clear skies can't help you, bud.
Alfred, make me another murder.
So this is super important. I don't care.
Bruce Wayne is just a like feral day drinker, and then when he's coming down, he's being all edgy, and then he dresses up in the costume and he beats the shit out of thugs.
I love that, actually.
I mean, that was a real person in
and
Seattle.
then this new film, he's like going to AA meetings trying to figure it all out. Like,
Everybody still thinks I'm a fucking vampire.
okay, that was my last Batman question.
All right. So moving on to our main course, George finally enlightened us with the movie that is This Is the End. And I got to say, man, I was very thoroughly entertained the entire time.
It was in my top 5. I'm glad we were able to watch it. It's one of the few movies that back when you could purchase movies on, well, you could still purchase movies on iTunes, but back when that was like the thing, it was one of the movies I purchased because that's how much I loved it. And I'm glad you guys, so Austin said it was very entertaining. You were engaged. Chris, how did you feel about it?
Oh, I loved it. There's so many things I could say about it. I like one that it's genre fusing. It's taking all these different types of comedy. It's mocking like apocalypse, like Exorcist type scary movie, like 2000s like reality show like Big Brother Survivor. And it's just all these things wrapped into one. They weren't afraid to like do the parkour and do the whole 9 yards, and that made it really special to me.
And that's one of the cool things that you got to learn to appreciate with it, is it because it goes a lot of places. Like there's a lot of twists and turns, and if you're like my dog Cece was barking during the film, and I felt bad because it's like you miss those little subtle like moments where it's like, damn, okay,
Like you're only gonna get it once.
that meant something, Austin, and you had Cece nibbling on your hand, and I apologize.
I mean, like, yeah, it went a lot of places. Like, I remember saying, like, Jesus Christ, how long is this movie? But not because I was bored, but I was like, we've had 9 different plot points now. What the fuck? What made it hilarious for me though was just the tone it set from the very beginning with that lady getting fucking crushed in the gas station.
Yeah.
And like they didn't shy away from any gore whatsoever. And it was just like blood splatter. We're all sitting there like, what the fuck? What just happened?
It's one of those films where I highly recommend everyone go on YouTube, search This Is the End behind the scenes, because these actors thoroughly loved filming this movie. Not only because they finally get to be themselves, but they get to portray how petty Hollywood is. I think they do a good job of showing how actors are just fake AF, and they do it to uphold an image because, you know, you got to.
I think Michael Cera is really like that though.
I like to think he does coke and slap Rihanna's ass.
Yeah,
That caught me off guard. He just smacks her ass and she slaps him and he's like, what? We're playing a game.
He is one of those characters. He's only in it for 15 minutes. And Chris, what was your favorite part that you saw about Michael Cera's 15 minutes in this film?
Okay. So first off, the joke that Michael Cera is like really this asshole in real life. There was like this, they put out this like fake story about him on set being like a shitbag, like we'll do it live, like type shit, like the reality show Meltdown. And it's like a running joke. Like Michael Cera seems like this timid, sweet guy. And then it's like, oh no, he's a rampant asshole. So they're playing into that. He's snorting rails, slapping a girl's ass. Now, to answer your question, best part.
Yes.
So Jay goes to the bathroom. He wants to get away from everybody. Okay. Slides it open. It's not, the door's not locked. It's Michael Cera and 2 Hollywood chicks on their knees, either side of him, one behind his ass, one on where his dick is. Okay. And Michael Cera is drinking a Capri Sun.
It looked like strawberry kiwi.
which you know, that little burst can be like really refreshing. You might think it's not a lot.
Especially, I'm assuming I've never done cocaine, but if you're blasted out of your mind on coke, a Capri Sun is probably delicious.
And then at the end, he's like, "Anybody want a sip?"
It's like the Capri Sun reveal epitomizes. It's a microcosm of the whole Michael Cera narrative, if you will. Okay, because it's like, is he a nice guy? Is he this deviant asshole? Here's both of them, like a narrative that solves both, right? Like both are true. That's the real fucking twist. It puts a bow on the whole thing. Anyways,
I wonder if, right, as a director, when you're filming these things and you're talking to people, and you got somebody like Michael Cera, like me as a director, right? If you're going to be getting a blowjob and a rim job at the same time, you'd assume, right? I think our listeners, if you haven't seen this film, I think you assume that you see his penis, but you do not see any penis whatsoever.
Because then it would be porn.
Well, but no, in other films, you know, you see guys' dicks. I mean, we saw plenty of devil dicks in the movie.
yeah,
But
that's true.
so, like, how much do you have to pay an actor extra, or like, does the actor just
No.
have to be willing to do it?
They like, I'm almost certain when they audition for it, like, and they're like, "Hey, so this role, there's like a sex scene or there's like something like that. Are you cool with that?" And 90% actors, will, "Yeah, I'll do anything." Yeah.
Yeah, because you want the job. But I guess Michael Cera is like, he like, it's the subtlety, right? Because now all I'm thinking of is Michael Cera's dick.
Well, I feel like it's probably that Hollywood trick where it's like tucked.
Okay, what I think.
I did not know there was a trick, but we can get into
Yeah,
it.
there's a whole.
Okay, well, hold on. Before we get into the trick,
Hearsay.
all right, Chris, how do you think they go about it?
Okay, well, for the reason as how if it's about money or if it's about the principle, I think it's about the principle, because this is fucked up, but you know, actresses, some of them, like, you know, it's like, oh, it's how some actresses won't go topless or won't do a sex scene.
True.
It's kind of like that, I imagine. And you know, some people are, you know, people on the internet, of course, are mad because it's like, oh, was she just fucking do it? You know, because like they're simping over the actress. That's how it is. And it's always funny. So it does come down to that, the principle of the actor.
I think they saw that they were missing that in that moment, and then that's why we saw a demon penis, and then we saw a demigod, freaking humongous. What would you even call that? What creature is that? Where's my Dungeons and Dragons people at? What kind of
I mean, I don't know. I
What-
play Magic and
In-
D&D. Like, I don't know.
Not to get
okay, isn't that like the it's like the boss round?
it's like the Giga Demon or something.
you had said
It's
something.
it's
it was
more
like
Doom. Yeah.
you said Doom.
Yeah, I just played the new one where now the boss this time is it's a giant demon with like skull armor, and he's like Colossus size.
But do you see his penis?
I don't remember. I don't think so.
I gotta go back.
We got to play it.
Yeah, but Giga Demon, which I love the like 2003 CGI looking graphics.
I mean, it still looked better than most sci-fi films. So, like sci-fi
Yeah.
films on Sci-Fi Channel, like Sharknado and all that shit. That's like they had more
those
budget
are-
for CGI than they did like acting.
Oh, 100%.
But what was the question you asked me? I forget it.
I
now.
asked you, it was the Michael Cera question. You said it was principle as to why he doesn't
Oh
show
yeah,
his
yeah,
penis.
yeah.
So then let's jump on to just another question that I always ask people, like when you watch this at the end.
Real quick,
Yes.
can we go back to that whole trick thing you were talking about?
Yes, the tuck trick.
So
Oh,
I've
yeah, it
been
needs some-
reading
Yes.
in the US they'll use like body doubles.
Really?
Just
Yes.
for the dick flash.
Well, because of like an actor. So according to the SAG, which is like the Screen Actors Guild like association,
Okay.
the actor gets to decide how much nudity and basically like fake sex there is in a scene.
Okay.
They can decide how much they want to do. So if the studio knows like, oh, this actor, like say I cast Christian, I like Christian, you got to do it, and he's like, I'm just okay, like just taking my shirt off, and they're like, all right, we got to get a body double,
Wow.
but they don't actually do
Okay.
it in America because they don't want to get a restricted rating, because then now you just cut your audience and like by
Yeah.
like 80%.
Yeah.
But I'm reading this, and in Europe, apparently they're like, yeah, if we got to show penetration for the angle, we got to do it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, in like more like French films and stuff like that.
That
Where
movie
a lot of gay
Cuties.
stuff
Little do we know that
happens.
movie Cuties.
Oh my God, no, don't say that. No, please don't say
Oh
that.
my
Oh my
goodness.
God,
The-
no.
The director, when she was young, she was in a film. And we'll leave it at that.
Wait,
It was in
what
France.
are we talking about?
Nothing. Oh my dear God, Jesus.
Okay. So no. Okay. Back to,
Anyways,
I'm glad that I know now that it's up to the actor. Whenever actors don't hang dongs, I will be shooting them tweets like,
Well, James Franco's has
Hashtag
controversy for
won't
that too.
drop dong, won't hang dong in a film. Lame.
We
It
got
makes a film. I'm sorry, but like,
we got to tell Zabi he's got to like be open.
because, okay. And I'm not even trying to sound gay. It's not, there's nothing gay about it. It's the first thing you will talk about when you get back into the car. It might not be the first thing, but it will be brought up. It will be brought up.
Why shouldn't it be?
That's the thing.
It's art.
Right.
It's art,
Like
as James Franco said.
James Franco and John Basso from
That is true. John Bazzo, the Supreme Leader.
of Burger 51 said it's
Actually, it is Supreme Commander. I looked it up. It's Supreme Commander.
the Supreme Commander John.
you know, it's crazy, like, because people say, like, that's low-hanging fruit, right? It's like, show a dick, show a teddy, whatever it is. It's like, that's terrible, but that makes people watch movies.
Yes.
And I think about in there's in Japan, there was an ancient type of theater that I believe was called kabuki, but don't quote me on that.
Sudoku.
But
Okay.
the point of it was to not tell a story as much as make the audience react,
Okay.
which they did with masks and songs or something. I'm not the expert, but it was successful. It was successful in that time in history. And it's like comedians are kind of doing that, right?
Yes.
Why can't things like movies, which to an effect that's true with horror movies and comedy movies, it's making the audience react, and that's going to be an integral part of any movie that tries to sell itself.
I like it. No. It makes complete sense. You need the audience reaction. So which character made you react the most in This Is the End?
Yes.
Oh man,
Who had the most reactable moments? Funny, sad, serious.
I have to remind the listeners who was in this movie. It was
We'll
Seth
stay with
Rogen.
let's stay with the
you
main
know.
6.
Yeah,
So
Seth Rogen was in it.
1.
The guy who played Daryl in The Office.
Greg,
It was Greg or Craig.
Craig Robinson,
Yeah. Oh, awesome guy.
James
Danny
Franco.
McBride was in it.
Yep.
James Franco was in it. Did I already say Seth Rogen?
Seth Rogen.
Jay.
And I don't know what his last
Yeah,
name is.
I know I've seen him in
Yeah,
other stuff.
they'll refer to him as Jay.
I'll look it up right now. Or George got it? You
Yeah, I
got it?
got you. Feel it.
And like I'm out of the loop, so I don't know all the actor names all the time.
So who made you react the most in this film?
Oh yeah. I was just explaining how that makes it hard because they threw some damn punches, some funny ass shit. Okay. I think that's hard to say. I don't want to not answer your question. I'll answer your question, then I'll not answer your question.
Answer my question with a question. Yeah.
Why?
Maybe put it
I
back
just
on
did-
me.
No, but I liked.
Jay Baruchel.
Okay,
Baruchel. All right.
sure.
Praise be to him.
I'll give you mine. Just so you
Okay,
guys
yeah.
can get your
And
minds
that- I already have mine. I already
need to
have-
think
Okay, if
about.
Austin, if you have yours, let's shoot
Just
on
spit your
yours.
guys.
All right. For sure, Danny. For sure, Danny McBride.
Yes.
Uh,
Okay.
And then in tandem, Emma Watson.
I like it.
Oh yeah,
With the scene where like Emma Watson is like found to be alive, so she comes back and she's like, what the fuck's happening? And she's like, I'm so tired. And then like, James Franco being nice, James Franco's like, oh yeah, if you want to rest, you're welcome to upstairs. She goes upstairs, he closes the door, and all the dudes come up and they were like, we just want to make her feel safe. And then Jay goes on this rant about like, we can't be giving off rapey vibes. And she can hear the whole thing because apparently James Franco's open floor plan house is just terrible. And so she comes and she has a fire axe with her the whole time, by the way. And She goes, back the fuck up. And she starts swinging this axe at them. And Danny's like, he's the one who's talking about raping you. I don't know.
Yeah.
Danny's,
It was Jay that was giving off the rapey vibes.
yeah. And then like,
But no, I get you.
And then-
She's swinging it.
yeah. And so like she ends up leaving. She ends up robbing them for all their drinks that they have. But the funniest part afterwards is like they have like a Big Brother type like confessional room. And Danny's sitting in there. He's like, the only reason why Jay was saying that shit is because he knows he's real close to being house bitch.
He knows he's the next house bitch.
And that shit had me fucking rolling.
Before that too, he also says, yeah, Hermione stole all her shit.
Hermione stole all our shit. I think he got like Hermione stole all our shit. It's great.
Yeah, and earlier in the movie, he was like, "Oh, I love Danny McBride." He's like, "I love Harry Potter. I want to ask her about what happened on set."
Yeah, that
Like,
was the
he's
whole
like a mega
conversation.
fan.
That was the whole conversation because like Jay's like, "Yo, guys, we should like back off," and then everyone like's like, "Yeah, we're cool. Like we're 6 guys, 7 guys. We can make her feel safe."
Yeah, it's like a little sister vibe. Craig Evans says, yeah, she's like a little sister to us.
Oh,
No,
my
okay,
God.
so I was gonna say you took one of mine. Danny McBride is my most reactionable character. He starts off by just smoking a joint in the bathtub, which is like this most badass way to be introduced into a film is a little montage of you smoking weed and making breakfast. So I was like, okay, that was sick. And then he also has a lot of hilarious moments. My favorite moment is when him and James Franco get into it about him coming in his
magazine
and his nudie mag.
Yeah.
And he hits him with a line and was like, James Franco's got this, extravagant house built, right? It's like we live in the century or the 20th century. You have iPads built in the wall, yet you're jerking your dick like a pilgrim. I was like, that is the funniest line I've ever heard. Not to mention that he also said he was going to come wherever he wanted in the house. He's going to drop loads in every room. And then James Franco hits him with, you come in this house, I'm going to shoot your dick off. And Danny McBride says, you don't got enough bullets, bitch.
Oh, that damn gun.
Classic scene. Danny McBride, most reactionable.
That reminds me of like Step Brothers with the drum set. Anyways, that's the kind of vibe I
Yeah, I got that kind of joke vibe as well. Danny McBride, they definitely made him out to be a badass.
Yeah.
Like he kicked the door and he kicked the door on his way out. You know what I mean?
Then he ate the fucking nose off of James Franco, who honey dicked himself.
Yeah, which totally disgusting. Like he like comes in by surprise. Then and then when he leaves, he makes it out like he's leaving on purpose. No. He tricks them into giving him the gun,
so he could be safe.
Which James Franco, when Hermione was attacking him with an axe earlier, he didn't use it. Wonder why? He's either a coward or there's something else to it. Turns out it's a prop gun. Those are blanks, and he just told everybody it's real. And he's pointing it around and being unsafe.
Oh, and the fucking Jonah Hill. I guess I'll just kill myself.
Yeah, dude. I love the psychopath energy Jonah Hill gave.
Because you can argue that Jonah is also like, if you're to rank them, right? It's tough to decide, I think, between a 2 and 3 spot between Jonah Hill and, like, in my opinion, Seth Rogen would be the next one.
He was funny, but like he was just kind of there. I felt like him and Jay were kind of there.
He pushed the plot along.
Him and Jay pushed the plot, but like I honestly think, like, in my personal opinion, if you didn't even have Jay obviously you needed them for plot resolution, but like if you just wanted a movie about how fucked up it is, I think with everybody else it would have been just fine.
Yo, so this movie was actually some philosophical shit, because like the whole thing was, Jay's a loner, right? And we're like, he's a fucking buzzkill. I don't want to be at the party with everybody else. I'm gonna go get some smokes and go into the corner, and and then he's giving Seth Rogen shit for it. It's like, oh man, that sucks. Then you realize how all the other celebrities are like pretending to be nice. They all got a fucking angle to play. So then like you think, oh, maybe Jay's like the more reasonable one, and it kind of goes back and forth. You create a dialogue in yourself. You're like, what? Who's right? Is who do I hate more? Do I not like Jay or Jonah Hill or whoever it is? but it's also about like he's a loner. It's like end of the world stories like to like have a thing about like, oh, we have to resolve ourselves. And that's just what all their banter does in the movie.
Unless you're James Franco.
Did you guys like, so this is when I first watched it, right? It took me a couple of times to really like, I really like this movie. And what kills it for me is like, I think it was like when it changed into Jonah Hill, like being a demon. Like for me, the first couple of times I watched the movie, it like, I don't know, it kind of lost me there because it had already done so many ups and downs. And was what part in the movie for you guys where you're like, I could do without this, or like this movie would have been a little bit better without this?
The scene with Danny McBride being like head of like the Raiders.
Oh yes,
like honestly, I get it a lot. Like it's because we've seen the movie, we know that these all tie in together. But if you just like took that part out and rewrote the plot to end the way it does, like it would have been fine. At that point, I was so overstimulated. Like I was just like, I don't even know what to fucking think anymore.
True.
See, yeah, it definitely, sometimes it gets, the genre jumping can, for some people, work against it because first you have, you get the reality show vibe and it's pretty grounded. To be fair, in the beginning of the movie, it is like, oh, the biblical end of the world. People get raptured up. Okay, we all saw this stupid shit. We know how the movie's gonna end. But at the same time, it's really grounded for that like 30 minutes or so. So then when it's like, hey, demons are outside, it jumps there. But I think I like
it. It kicks in the hyperdrive. Like it kicked in like the like we have to be serious actors to really wrap this all up because we've been, telling so many jokes and making this so funny already for the first hour and 15 of the movie.
I can only fart so many times this movie.
Yes, right? Before we have to like really kick it into gear and like you can tell the tone shift.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And then Jonah Hill turned into an exorcist type deal where he had a demon inside him and his eyes turned green, and it was kind of the demon stuff and the gore is cartoonish in the movie.
Yeah.
Like it's like hyper real, but like it's like Mortal Kombat 2, like you're like, oh, it's blood flies across the screen and all this stuff. But then I'm like, oh, it's a comedy. The whole thing is like a wacky narrative about like our culture and stuff. So, that's all you get.
True.
Yeah, I like the movie references that they did. They had obviously The Exorcist with Jonah Hill. They had what I thought would be like The Mist, which is the Stephen King novel, which was turned into a film when they were walking back and forth between houses because you can't see anything, it's just like smoke, but I got that kind of vibe, like a Mad Max kind of vibe.
Oh yeah, definitely Mad Max
with Danny McBride and his boy toy Channing Tatum.
I think if anything, if you're to make a spin-off of this, it's kind of like McBride going out and then like taking on. I would have rather had that than have the Jonah Hill demon thing. I would have rather had a little like a road with Danny McBride and his road out and like what the world looks like on the outside and how he wraps in all these guys. And then like, I wish he would have like went to go kill like the guys. Like, okay, they're at the house. And then it's like this big like house standoff type thing. That's one way you could have went with it.
Yeah. I think it would have been cool if like, I understand though they have to be like, oh shit, he's still alive. But yeah, I think it would have been cool if they would like showed him and he'd be like, man, this fucking sucks. And then he finds some people who's like, hey, y'all gonna listen to me now. And they're like, okay.
I like that they kept it, that it felt like a reveal, right? When they're finally out of the house and, they're being dragged off by these Mad Max bastards. And he comes out of they introduced him again, like they introduced him in the beginning.
Yes.
From his feet upwards. Like,
yes.
So we're like, we saw him step out of that trailer and we're like, that's McBride. That's totally Danny McBride.
Yep.
And it was a good ass reveal, which justifies its place for me because it was pretty damn entertaining.
So, I have a question now. How much money do you think that Hollywood put into this movie?
I'm gonna say a cool 1 million because I gotta pay everybody. I feel like I'm probably super like lowballing this thing, but I'm just gonna say 1 million
Okay.
because I feel like a lot of it was just shot like at James Franco's like getaway house or something.
I'll say 2 billion.
2 billion?
Sure. They got some because they used some CGI.
They did use some CGI,
okay.
And for some reason, it's really expensive in
but
Hollywood.
I feel like to have Rihanna
All
in
right.
your movie, I feel like it's a
God
$500,000.
damn. All right. You guys are so far off the ball. So I'm going to give you an over under here. So 15 million is the line. Do you think they spent over or under 15 million?
Under.
Over.
Oh shit! How
They
much was
spent
it?
$32 million on it.
I guess that makes sense because you got Kevin Hart, you've got Rihanna. Like those two alone, right there, is like probably
How
what,
it's all broken up. There's a lot of actors in this film.
Oh yeah.
A
Yeah.
lot of them. How much do you think it grossed here in the United
So
States?
you said 32 million was the production cost.
Yes.
I'm gonna say 110 million, or yeah, 110 million.
Okay. Chris?
I don't know movie numbers. Don't ask me. 2 billion. I'll use that number again.
Jesus Christ.
2 billion.
Chris was in remedial math in high school, so we're going to work on his movie math. You are very close. 101.5 million.
So 101
Okay.
million 500,000.
Yes. They made a lot of goddamn money off this movie.
They made almost twice. They almost doubled their money on it.
That's great considering how cheaply they made it.
In theory, in relative
Considering, any other movie would have been billions of dollars.
to
So
millions of dollars. That's crazy though that they almost doubled their money and only spent 32 million.
Yeah. It's because I think the thing that probably cost the most, like you said, CGI definitely costs a lot. Creating I wonder like those sets, like creating those crazy scenes where it's like Los Angeles burning. They
Well,
did a
that's
lot of
CGI.
nighttime. Yeah, I know. They did do a lot of smoky nighttime vibes. So
I
like you
could-
couldn't really tell.
I could kind of tell with the beginning of the apocalypse when they're running in the street. That was totally a soundstage. I could totally see it. You could
Oh,
see
yes.
the fake background, like.
Oh yes.
But I don't. Who gives a shit? It was funny. That
Yes.
dude getting fucking ran over or getting launched by a car.
yeah, I love the like over the top of gore, which like I said, it's like Mortal Kombat 2. It's cartoonish.
Yeah, it's not like ooh scary. It's like haha, his brain is out.
One
Yes.
guy, there's like a scuffle when the pit opens, and one guy, Paul Rudd, steps on somebody else's head. They do like an old style movie thing, and it cuts to him. He's stomping, and then it cuts to his head, which is now like a looks like a rubber mask or something,
Yeah.
filled with like fake blood that gets snatched, and it's like
I feel like they did that. I feel like they did like cheap, shitty gags on purpose, though.
exactly because like it's as serious as it is stupid. So
How many days do you think it took to film This Is the End?
To just film it, I would say probably like 30.
Okay.
60 days.
Oh, very close. 50 days.
Which is
50 days of
not
film.
terrible because most films will probably film for like 6 months.
My insight on how I chose that answer was we did a play that we only had, I think it was 30 days to rehearse. It was a 24 hour, excuse me. And each day of rehearsal we used up an hour, and there was no taking the script home. You had to rehearse, get in a costume, learn all your lines, all within 24 actual hours.
But so 1 hour a day for 24 days.
Yeah. So, but and the thing is, that's a play. That's without all the movie shit, the high production and filming and crazy world. So I'm like, maybe 2 months.
I imagine Christian's just sitting there. Christian's just sitting there. He's just like, I am tree.
idiot. It's like the idiot savant perk. It's like,
Perk.
yeah, you were right somehow. Whatever's moving around up there, it worked.
It's like I sent this to this teacher that I'm friends with on Facebook, and it was one where it was like, I don't know how because you used the wrong equation, but you got the right answer. It's like,
Yeah.
wait, what? How did you do that?
So there's a couple more things that I wanted to add about the film. One of them being that this film was directed by Seth Rogen. So they're bringing up like points in time where Seth Rogen is actually in the scene calling like action, like how we would like in our home films. I'm just thinking like, how crazy is that? You know what I mean? Like you're so used to thinking like, oh, a director calls action behind the scene, but no, it's like Seth Rogen about to kick somebody's decapitated head on the floor and he's and action. Kick it, Danny.
I can just imagine he gets like a fucking wind up. He goes, action.
I wonder how tough that is, like mentally to be like worrying about so many other things, but then also worrying about, I'm acting on the screen right now.
Yeah.
That's
I
tough.
mean, and not
Their
to,
chemistry was impressive.
it was very good. Well, I mean, they've all been in movies together, so they all know each other at this rate. But not to force the Lukewarm Cinema Podcast hand, but you might be able to expect some homemade entertainment in the near future from us.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. I would love to like honestly, we haven't done like a serious brainstorming session about doing something.
I've been writing some scripts here and there.
But that would be pretty sick, dude. Because I mean, we know some people that can help us out and do like a little.
A few of them have been on this show.
Yes, and maybe one in the future.
Maybe
Hint,
one,
hint.
yeah, maybe one in the
Director
future.
on the way, possibly. So back to the film, they said that the editors had such a tough time whittling everything down because you can imagine, right, with a cast like this.
Oh, they're probably just fucking bullshitting and it was funny.
Dude, yeah, they were just letting the cameras roll, bro. And they said like it just, that's why it took so long in post, just because it's tough to choose which jokes make the
You
final
have to
cutting
get out
board.
the story elements.
But keep it funny. But then you also want to be like, but that's funny. But then you're like, does it really play into the story element though? And you're
Totally crazy. I believe it.
You have to really take into consideration, man, that I don't think another film will be made like this in a while. To get all actors playing themselves in a movie, like that's really tough to do. I'm pleased they were able to do it for the time being, because like think about just all those A-listers free at one time in one film. Like usually, I mean, to schedule something like that's just gotta be bananas.
Especially that party scene. You probably only had like 2 days you could do that thing with everybody's schedule.
Yes.
Probably, all right, fuckers, look, we got to do that. Like Seth Rogen's probably like, bro, all right, man. Excuse me. I got this movie I'm trying to shoot. I need you down here Friday at Franco's house.
Rihanna, okay, listen, just stand here. All right, Michael Cera's gonna slap your ass, and you can go on, make another album. We just need you here for 30 more minutes, Rihanna.
That's true. I get the notion that they did like one big shoot with all the people in it.
True.
And then most other movie was just like the main cast that were actually on all the time.
What do we know? Michael Cera, he just volunteered to be in the film. He was walking by one day and there's like,
Well, yeah,
Michael, do you think we can use you for 10 minutes here?
Well, that's the joke I've always seen is like Michael Cera looks like that person who like accidentally walked into an interview and they're like, you're perfect. And he's like, I guess I'm just going to roll with this shit.
Well, I am perfect. Have you seen my little perfect butt?
That still reminds me of like
Been
that.
on the movie This Is the End.
There's like a picture of him from like the late 2000s or like mid to late 2000s. And like he's sitting at like a restaurant and it's like him and this girl he's on a date with. And then like Snooki from fucking like Jersey Shore is like taking a picture with him. He's just like, he's just chilling there like, hello.
I think, were you going to bring up Mindy Kaling? The line that she said about Michael Cera at the beginning of the movie?
Oh, she was like,
no,
he's probably has a major dick.
Yeah, no, she Mindy Kaling said, if I don't have sex with Michael Cera by the end of the night, I'm gonna blow my brains out. Pale, 110 pounds, probably got a huge cock, and then it just cuts to somebody else. It's like, Mindy.
Yeah, it's part of the narrative.
In a Disney movie like a couple years later. Good old Mindy.
It definitely fits in because like part of the joke about Michael Cera is that he's like this weird like loner guy, but he like pulls chicks. Like as if like all these chicks are simping after Michael Cera, and you're like, you look at the movie, you're like, how? But it's funny, and then that also plays into the Michael Cera is an asshole joke, and they put a cherry on top of that little story in this movie, with the Capri Sun scene. Very beautiful.
I know George brought this up in our very first episode, which you guys haven't heard it yet. Go check it out.
Yes.
With his cell phone, but I didn't know the context of that scene until I watched it. And it's like during like the tremor, everybody runs outside and he's like, everybody, where the fuck is my phone? Which one of you fucking took? And then he like points at some random dude, empty your pockets, bro. Like just it doesn't even ask everybody, just singles out one person, empty your pockets, man. And then he gets impaled and he's like, oh, this is embarrassing because it was in his fucking pocket.
Super embarrassing. As he just gets taken down into the pit. Another fun fact about This Is the End. At the 4 minute 20-second mark of the film, they are smoking weed.
Of course, I would be disappointed if they weren't.
Crap, that's crazy.
4 minutes 20 seconds. They did not wait. They said, we got to get that.
That's funny. Stoner comedy was one of the things they tied into the movie.
Oh, Pineapple Express 2.
I got another over under for you guys.
Let's do
All
it.
right, let's do it.
80% is the number I'm setting. How much of this movie was improvised? Over or under 80%?
Over.
I'm also say over.
85% of the
With
movie.
what you just said, with they just let the cameras roll.
I know, but see, 80% is high. Like, yeah, like
That's a lot,
that is
but I feel like this was deliberately done that way.
I feel like this is something we need to do with every movie review we do now.
do a little like deep dive into it.
Yeah, like we can each pick a movie and then that person will look up the facts for it, like how George is right now, and then we can do a little game show.
Many of the pictures seen in the house were painted by James Franco.
I think it's great how
my gosh.
how like what's his name, the big dude, the one who's like, we gotta board up the fucking house, and he's like grabbing the paintings.
Oh, Craig.
Yeah, Craig, and like James is like, don't touch the paintings, bro. Come on, guys, help me, please. Don't touch the paintings.
It probably makes sense, right?
Yeah.
Like, no, please. My favorite part's like they're boarding up the house, and they're like taking all the paintings off the wall to like put in front of the door, and then it's between the Seth Rogen, the painting
James
that
Franco.
says Seth Rogen or James Franco, and James Franco's like tells Jay as he's about to take down the Seth Rogen one, no, Jay, don't take down Seth Rogen, take me.
Take me, leave him. Oh yeah, they had their whole
Leave
bromance
Seth.
thing in the whole movie too, which was hilarious. But yeah, I like this whole over under. God
Okay.
damn, I lost all my money.
So here's another reason why this film will never, ever probably happen like this again with so many A-listers. So many of the main cast took significant pay cuts to film this movie.
So yeah, it's
Doesn't
probably
say
like,
numbers.
it's probably like a favor for Seth Rogen. Seth Rogen's like, I really want to put this movie together. Do you think you could show up for like an hour or two on set? We just need to record 20 minutes of film. Can you do it?
I'm looking at the Comedy Central. This is the end facts right here. What actress do you guys think they wanted to play instead of Emma Watson? Because Emma Watson was not the original actress they wanted to play.
Megan Fox.
Okay,
What year did it come out?
this came in 2012?
Damn, that long ago? Holy shit! No wonder why 3D TV seems so
I don't
fucking
know.
dated.
Yes.
Kristen Stewart.
They actually take a taxi in the movie too. I was going to mention that they take a taxi to the party. That would never happen in like a modern day film. Taxis are obsolete.
Oh yeah, that's
would've
like
been an
old
Uber.
now. Apparently,
Okay, but you said who?
I said Kristen Stewart. I don't know any actresses.
They originally wanted it to be played by Mila Kunis.
Mila Kunis. All right.
I think she'd be good in that
I feel
role.
like she knew she would have been the butt.
Hermione was
She was hilarious.
like she fit in perfectly.
Yeah, I like she's like a fucking like apocalypse badass
Well, I also like
running
how
around
she's
here
just
with
like,
a fucking axe.
yeah, I'm Hermione, but I show up to these fucking parties with drugs and alcohol like it's no big deal. Wingardium Leviosa, bitch.
So we had mentioned it earlier, right? This film centers around like actors and their crazy lies that they have to uphold to make people like them. And it was said by the actor Jay in the film that he said that a lot of those arguments are real arguments that happen between actors in Hollywood. He's like, a lot of it actually was kind of therapeutic because they're actually putting it all out in the air and they're able to talk about like how sucky it is because everyone's fake AF in Hollywood. Do you guys think you change?
Oh
Like-
yeah, I already know I would crumble to the pressure.
What do you what like in the movie?
Would you no would you change as a person? Say you get a big film, you would Chris ever be like, George, Austin, let's hang out again, even though you're
I
like
would
a
definitely hang
millionaire.
out with you guys, absolutely. But my ego would be through the fucking roof. I'm calling it now. I already know it would be there.
The movie was great because it's also although it's like a comedy and it's funny and it still has a definite message, and it's about like, you know, you have to like resolve as a person, which of course you could say like that sounds like biblical, which is like why the whole thing's based on like the Bible and the rapture. But it's cool how the actors have to act out the faults in themselves. Like that's what they're trying to emulate, which like that's really personal to do, I think, right? Like, you know, like, oh, Jonah Hill, I guess I think I'm fake. You know, here's the character where I'm just fake the whole movie. And you know, and of course some of them might be like just total jokes. Like I think Michael Cera, I don't think he's really like that. But it really makes you look inward and think philosophically.
I love it. That sounds so heartfelt the way you said that, right?
Yeah, dude.
IOI butterflies. Okay. This is the last thing I'm going to leave you with, but this is the end. Because I wonder if you guys can pinpoint the two actors that went at each other and argued the most. Between the main six that we had listed, there was two actors that really went at each other hard during the film. Do you think you can
on screen?
Not on screen.
In production.
This is in production.
Oh, well, I don't know who fucking
are these
hates
actual
who?
arguments or just them filming like for the movie?
So this is like actual, like behind the scenes, like how the hell are you guys still like going at each other, arguing over some shit?
Oh, like they're legit arguing.
Yeah, like in person, like these, it isn't relating to the film whatsoever. What two people out of those six do you think were going at each other?
That's hard because
like,
I
like
don't,
a celebrity death match.
I don't know backstage. I don't know.
I'm just gonna go out
You
on
gotta
a
just
whim.
guess. You gotta just guess.
Craig and Danny McBride.
Craig and Danny McBride. Alrighty.
I think Seth Rogen. No. First, Dave Franco.
James Franco.
James.
Yeah, Dave. He was Dave in the interview.
Yes.
Anyways, Dave Skylark. Great film. But anyways, James Franco.
Yes.
I think would be one.
Yes.
I'm gonna say Seth Rogen.
Not Seth Rogen, but James Franco is one. So let's see if we can identify this last one.
Jonah Hill.
Bam! You guys nailed it.
They
yes.
argued the most.
Seth Rogen said in an interview that they would go at each other hard off screen. But I mean, like obviously in a playing way. I feel like once you hit a certain point in time, like these guys are
Jonah would just eat
all
him.
joking. It's J-Bug, J-Bone,
Okay,
the sweetest little Jonah.
It's funny how fast we got there, though.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
Because how do you guys think? Like deadass, what was your first reaction when you saw Jonah Hill in the film?
He was trying to. He's like the type of person who has to be liked by everybody, but he doesn't really care about these people. He just wants to be the person who's liked. So he tries hard for a vain purpose.
Yes.
kind of the same, but I just felt like he was so pretentious. Like he was like, guys, come on. Like I'm Jay's white knight here.
Yes. The way he would defend Jay would be just so valiant.
And Jay's sitting
in the
there like,
film.
what the fuck, dude?
Guys, Jay, listen, he's not as strong as you guys. He can't handle this.
Jay couldn't rape anybody. And then Danny McBride's like, yeah, you look like the police sketch of the rapist.
See, and that takes a lot for them to like, because it's like weird. You just look at Jonah Hill and you've only really seen him act in movies and whatever new stuff, if you even follow that. Most people don't. And you just look at his face, the way he moves, and like, I think he'd be that way. And for some reason, we all got the same read off of him. But like, he's a great actor. You know what I mean?
I still think it's funny because it's like, oh, that's them, but it's still like them acting as a version of them, as an image of themselves. So it's not really them.
Yes.
Even though Seth Rogen, I feel like that's really him.
If there was any character that probably plays themselves the most, and maybe Craig Robinson.
Yeah, because I feel like he's like, bros, I'm not sitting down for this shit, dog.
Because he acts just like Daryl does, and I feel like he played himself in that role as well.
Yes.
But I don't know him. Don't quote me.
Yeah, but I mean, I would like to think he plays such nice guy roles that I'd like to think that that's exactly how Craig Robinson is.
Oh, and he played the piano again, like he did in The Office.
Yeah.
He used to play a synthesizer.
Take your panties off.
Your panties off.
Beautiful.
Well, to wrap this up, final thoughts, George, if you want to start. I know this is one of your favorites, if not your most favorite.
I pray to God that they can get some semblance of a cast like this together again in a film. Especially just comedic greats. I mean, and if not, I will definitely take another Joe Rogan or not Joe.
Yes, Joe Rogan, please be in one of these movies.
Seth Rogen and James Franco film. I'll take that. And then sprinkle in a little Danny McBride in there. I'll take that any day of the week too. But if you get everyone in there again, like Hollywood, come together and like make this for the people.
What if they did like you know how there's like the scary movies and like Meet the Spartans? What if they did like the like remedial Avengers, but as like them?
We are due for a good one of those.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because it's been a while since
like
there's been like
Thanos,
an epic
but it's
movie or
it's Thanos, but it's like a legit nutsack on his chin.
like a movie 43 situation.
And then it's like Jonah Hill and Seth Rogen, but they have like midriff in their outfits. It's like Iron Man, but he's like popping out of he's just like
yes. That budget will need to be about 60 million so we can make all the CGIs.
We'll do it. I'll write the script right now.
Dope.
Christian, final thoughts on This Is the End?
If you want to dodge the demons, you got to sort out your demons. But your friends are demons too. They got to be fixed as well. I think it was philosophical and hilarious. And I like the scene where Seth Rogen pisses into his mouth.
I forgot about that. Because Craig's like, hey, I just tried my piss. It wasn't that bad.
And he had the martini glass and he took a sip of his own piss.
And then I thought he was gonna like beat it.
Jerk off.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then he's it's like
what a turbo stream too.
Oh yeah. That was a beautiful stream.
The Happy Gilmore song.
Oh man.
Austin, final thoughts.
I thoroughly enjoyed it. I'm glad that you had that idea to watch this movie for this episode. Great movie. I laughed a lot. Couple of good jump scares in there that I don't like, but I was like, I looked over to George. I was like, I might have just peed a little. Sorry, but it was a great movie. It was a very great movie, and it, even for being 8 years old now, it was still pretty good. I mean, the 3D TV and the PlayStation 3 were a little dated, but that's okay. I liked it. I thought it was very awesome to see them all in like one spot. Rihanna dying was real nice.
Oh, for you, Riri, do you love me? I am Georgie. Will you ever listen to our podcast, baby?
No, but she will.
You don't
sue
want to
the
get
shit out of us.
copyright. Chill out, man.
I get too into it sometimes with the singing.
Well, we hope everybody enjoyed our delicious take on This Is the End and the news that we had. Once again, we do have shirts for sale.
Get one
through our network. George just got one. He got a bright neon yellow one.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, okay, how do I get people to like look at my podcast shirt? Make it neon yellow. Everyone stared at me the first time I wore it, so it's working.
And it looks nice.
Yeah.
It's working.
It looks nice.
It honestly does. It does. I have a nice little Cubano tan skin. It looks good on a tan body.
Looks good.
Hitting that market.
And any shirt you guys do buy does help out the show. And I believe they're $18.
Yeah, and the material on them, it's not flame retardant, but it also doesn't make flames.
That is,
which you cheap
that's
out.
almost worth the money itself, right there. It almost should be worth $20, but it's only worth $18.99.
We're doing this for you guys. We're getting the special guys. Your shirt's not
we're
gonna
getting quality material.
Your house will burn down, but that shirt won't burn down.
Yeah, but the shirt's gonna be fine.
Well, you said it's not flame retardant, so that means it'll still burn, but it won't cause.
That is true.
Your shirt won't cause the fire in your house.
To be honest, it's that cool of a shirt that I think the fire would be like, I'm gonna leave this.
Yeah,
3 of my shirts have combusted.
It'll be like when the was it the Notre Dame church burned down?
Yes, and it was
Oh,
just
God.
that
one
cross, and everyone was like, "That's because God is real." It's like, no, gold has a higher melting point than wood.
Yeah. the Lukewarm
back to
Cinema
the
podcast.
conspiracies.
And that's science. It's
Let's
fact.
talk about
Yeah,
jet
so,
fuel.
hey, maybe a conspiracy podcast in the future.
Quite possibly in the future, might already be in the works.
That makes it a conspiracy because they're being vague.
X-Files.
That's a microcosm of the
Theme
whole
song.
project.
Copyright. Anyways, though, back to my point.
Yes.
Your house is going to burn down, but your nice neon yellow shirt of the Lukewarm Cinema podcast is going to be right there glowing in the ashes.
It's almost like
Your family possessions might be gone. Your pets might have ran away, but you have your shirt.
people always say, I'll give the shirt off my back. You actually have a shirt
On your back.
on your But
After all that, of course, you can go ahead and find us on social media, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook
yes,
under the Lukewarm Cinema Podcast.
Yes.
Also, if you'd like to get in touch with us, let us know any news we're not touching on, being like, hey, why the hell haven't you talked about, like, I don't know, Teletubbies or something?
Our journalistic scope is like the fingers of a small child. When they go past the windows in the frozen section, some worker just wiped it off, but they go, whoosh, they dragged your hand. Even when you were a kid, you had to see if the frost would move. Drag
Yes.
your hand across all the
Yes.
doors. Your mom's trying to get the groceries. She doesn't care what you're doing. She's living her life.
Put your hand back on the cart.
That's our journalistic scope. And the stories are like the freezer. But
we're
you
just-
have to give us the stories. So journalistic scope. Can't
King-
touch that.
can grow.
But yeah, if you guys would like to get a hold of us there, you can email us at lukewarmcinemapodcast@gmail.com. And until next week, we'll see you guys later.